Hello friends, just a quick disclaimer before the video starts, because I think I get that once per every video I do like this. I was very tired when I recorded this video. I was a little sleep deprived from a long weekend, so it shows. I know it does. Don't try to be nice. Please take that in mind before making any comments. I was just sleep deprived and nothing else. And I did it all in one take as well. If I were to remake this video under less of a time constraint than I'm on right now, I would probably do it in more takes. But there's that. And again, in spite of me having academic resources to support what I'm saying here, my observations and inferences are still my observations and inferences. That doesn't mean they're yours. If you don't agree with me, feel free to let me know in the comments below the doobly-doo, and we can continue this discussion. Just don't be rude. I will not tolerate rudeness in my comments section. And it's just the way things work on my channel. Anyway, now with that out of the way, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Bye. Hello and good day, my friends. Today, in my partial blanket burrito, Snorlax and I will be talking about a cute little game called Tomodachi Life, a Nintendo Life simulation game that came out on June 6th of 2014. If you want to know more about this game before we go on with the rest of the video, I have included a couple of videos in the description talking about what this game is about and what sort of silliness can ensue. So, if you want to watch this video, go ahead and pause. We'll be here when you get back. I promise. It's so cute. Anyway, now to the meat of the video. I came across this game in January, and I have to say that so far I just flat out adore it. However, as I was playing this game, I noticed that this game is highly relevant to issues of gender expression, relationship expectations, and heterosexual hegemony. This game is targeted to children, you say. There's no way that these themes can be present in this game. It's not like there are any adult things going on based on the videos, unless you count farting in front of your friends, family, and acquaintances as an adult theme. But as we scroll down through my notes here, we shall see how these things are relevant. Now, most obviously, to anybody who knows anything about this game, the most obvious example of these things is of heterosexual hegemony, hegemony is the unconscious normalizing and adherence to dominant group values and beliefs, and in this case, the dominant group is heterosexual people. Shortly after the game came out, there was a controversy regarding the lack of same-sex marriages in this game. Non-heterosexual people were very downtrodden and flat out angry about the fact that Nintendo seemed to leave them out by only giving the option of straight people marriages. Now, you can have people who are not straight get married, but only by making, like, one member of the couple a guy, one member of the couple a girl, and unless you have, like, explicit permission to do this, it can get kind of awkward. Anyway, this did cause a very big stir. Lots of negative articles and opinions and very outlandish rumors about some kind of glitch that got patched up that included same-sex marriages. But Nintendo came in and, first of all, cleared up the rumors and apologized for not including same-sex marriages, promising to make a more inclusive game that better represents all players in the next Tomodachi Life. Nintendo wasn't trying to create social commentary. They said so themselves, and I saw it. But the exclusion of gay relationships still says a lot. It perpetuates the idea to anybody who's playing it, childlike or older-like, that heterosexual relationships are the norm, and anything else is abnormal and should not be existent. And I understand this wasn't their intention. The staff was just doing their job. But it's here, and I'll And there's a lot of gender role affirmation that goes along with this. So, for example, though all the items in the game can be given to both male and female Miis, regardless of what the item is, which arguably goes against the idea of gender binary, allowing for the player to have more of a spectrum in gender expression, there are several quips, chats, and events that happen in-game that argue more towards the binary. These segments perpetuate traditional gender norms, and if you just pay attention to them as you're playing the game, you'll notice it, and you won't be able to avoid it once you notice it. For example, I have several married couples in my game right now, and oftentimes people will come to me, little Miis will come to me and be like, hey, I want to boast about my significant other because they are awesome. And when they do, they say things like, my wife is beautiful, she's like an angel, she does all the chores before I wake up. Oh, my sweetheart is the best at any sport he's ever played. And though for some people this could be really in character to something that they would say to someone else, a lot of the times it's not in character. And it can be awkward, based on my own personal experiences. And there is this event called, I'm going to call it Cafe Chats, where twice a day Miis meet up to just talk in the cafe, have some coffee, have a chat. And during the girls' chat, these sorts of conversations tend to come up. And these conversations don't come up in the guy equivalent. Though one could argue that most if not all other conversation bits in this segment are the same between guys and gals, there's still these specifications between the two groups that make it fairly obvious to whoever's watching it that, oh yeah, these are the girls talking, oh yeah, these are the guys talking, which in turn goes back to representing the binary instead of more of a spectrum. And really, this sort of thing is present in children as well. Babies and children in this game are raised in pretty much the exact same way by all parents, regardless of who they are. Pictures. And this sort of child rearing really seems to have more support for gender similarity research and the idea of raising a child in a gender neutral way, in contrast to pop culture psychology that mentions the whole women are for Venus and men are for Mars sort of thing. However, there are still things about how children work in this game that still promote this. Parents, whenever they want to boast about their kids after boasting about their significant other, will boast about their kids in gender-specific ways. Again, most of these things are the same between guy and gal babies, but there are specific things that remind you about what kind of baby you're talking about. And some of these things are player-influenced. In the photo booth, when there are kids on the island, the player has the opportunity to do some border work, though they don't really know that they are. In the photo booths, you can determine how the kids dress. So you can determine how the kids dress for the picture. So you can put Miis in dresses, tuxedos, princess outfits, or cow suits, which I did quite a bit of the time. And this is all player determined. Now, this sort of border work, when thinking about a real world context, according to Judith Lorber, is done to avoid confusion and discomfort to others. That even though gender is changing to include more things like fathers taking care of kids and boys and girls wearing gender-neutral clothing, things such as dressing babies up to avoid gender confusion happen because gendering ourselves and everyone around us is completely normal, and even expected as a part of the natural flow of our society. Which sounds very complicated. I promise you the guy in the article explains it much better than me. Border work also happens in how items can be given by the player. I mentioned before that every item in the game can be given to either gender. Even though... words. Can be given to either gender. Well, the player can decide to give all the beauty kits in the game to all the girls and none of them to the guys. This, in turn, is border work because it determines how the Miis will socialize with each other. So all the girl Miis will socialize using beauty kits, and none of the guys will, which could potentially miss out on some friendships, and it brings a gender separation between the Miis. Unless you're me anyway. Unless you're me anyway. Marriages even work in a heteronormative, gender-conforming way. The marriages as a concept in game, not the way the marriages were reacted to out of game. Marriage is taken up a very traditional lens, likely to make it easier for all people to understand. The woman is in white, the man wears a tux, and all the members of the wedding party have gender-respective clothing on. This, in one way, can reaffirm what gender role attitudes, or the way people believe men or women should act, that some people have, while disrupting that of others. So, people might be perfectly okay with the fact that in my game, the vast majority of the marriage proposals have been done by guy Miis, which seems to adhere to their gender role attitudes. However, there are some other people who might be like, this is the 21st century. And it is, in fact, an option for girls to propose, so why aren't more girls proposing in your game? Who knows? Now, everything I just said, this isn't a social commentary that Nintendo is trying to do. This isn't intentionally meant to promote these gender things I just said. You watch the videos, right? This game is silly, full of random events, and it runs under the perspective of anything can happen. Bill Trennan, the product marketing manager of Nintendo, said that this game is supposed to promote a whimsical world where you bring people together to see what happens as a result. The only reason any of these issues are in this game to start with is because it is a life simulation game. A very strange and quirky one, yes, but still a life simulation. It takes in consideration the norms of the societies it's trying to emulate. And this game is trying to emulate both Western society and Japanese society. Between translations and all that stuff. And in the socialization of gender and sexuality and gender expression into our society is normal. It happens. People do it. So, though it wasn't intentional for Nintendo to say that only men and women can get married, that girls are the best cleaners in the world, and men are awesome at sports and yard work, this is just a secondary effect of what they meant because of the way that the people involved with the game see gender and sexuality, if that makes sense. In any case, I suggest that anyone who found interest in this game whenever they saw the videos, or they're interested now because I've been blabbing about it, I suggest that you guys get it. It's a charming little gem of a game, and if you want me to tell you more as to why it is, I can make a video about it. Let me know. If you want to continue this discussion about gender, heteronormativity, all that fun stuff I've just talked about, go ahead and talk to me in the comments. My channel is still literally a non-existent subscriber base, so if you want to comment and let me know what your thoughts on this are, I'll be more than happy to continue talking about this with you, because having this discussion is important. not talking about this is worse than talking about it. So, anyway, my articles will be linked in the description, or referenced in the description. I will have a PDF hopefully in there. And you all I hope you all have a wonderful day. And friends, I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.